everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Breezy Talks with Spiffy. Today, we are going to talk about yet another interesting and relatable topic with our guest who's present with us in the studio. I'm Akanksha, along with my partner and a very good friend Astha, and we are founders of Spiffy. Spiffy is a crowdsourced platform to discover fashion labels across the globe, backed by trusted experiential reviews and recommendations. Now, let me introduce our guest for today. I've known her for a couple of months now, and I'm just amazed by how many things she has been involved with. Or I must say, how many experiences she has had in her life. She's a mother to two lovely girls. She's a marathon runner and a great public speaker. She has participated in a beauty pageant. She volunteers for social causes. Latest addition in this list is that she started learning Taekwondo. She comes with a vast experience of over 25 years in corporate world in multiple industries and roles across countries. With that, let's start our breezy chat with this superwoman, Miss Anita Nair.
Thank you so much, Akanksha. Thank you for having me over.
Great pleasure.
Yes, the pleasure is all ours. And thank you, Kangsha, for this wonderful introduction. But let me introduce the topic today that we are going to talk about. So, today, what we are going to talk about is the dynamics between aging and fashion. Now, with what happens typically, there are two sides of the coin that people typically fall out of their love for fashion because they are not dressing up for their changed bodies and faces. And the other aspect is that even the fashion companies are not capturing the voice enough. Usually fashion is targeted towards, Gen Zs or millennials, or even millennials are now old now, but nobody is going to the other age spectrum. So with that, I would like to ask you, Anita, my first question, that what how has, or if in any way, aging has impacted your fashion sense or how you present yourself to the world? Have you kind of say moved with the times, or has something changed for you?
I wouldn't say I have moved with the times, which means I'm catching trends, etc. That's not me. But yes, I have moved with times within myself because earlier I used to think about what others would think. Am I looking nice? There was a little bit of a confidence issue. Today, no matter what I wear, I just don't care. As long as I'm comfortable and I feel nice, and I usually like colorful things, I'm fine. So that way, I have evolved as a person within myself. Because earlier it was all about, oh, this person is looking nice, let me try and do something like that. But now I think it's just my own style.
Yeah.
Whatever makes me feel comfortable and happy.
Yeah, we all do that. But I'm curious about your beauty pageant winner. Like, when was it, or why did you decide to take part in it?
I think that was Mrs. Glamorous contest, and it was somewhere just before COVID.
Okay.
And the idea was more about, so I don't think I was glamorous, and I don't think I am, but I just felt that let me try and participate in something. The whole idea was to meet new people, and they had this thing of they would kind of take some courses, some training on makeup. All of that was new to me, so I thought at least I will learn in the process. And this was in a few countries, in India, Singapore, Dubai, Australia. And what they did was they chose certain people to participate in the final contest, and then COVID happened. So then the contest, I think, happened last year, but I didn't go for it. But at least I was shortlisted from Singapore, and we had the Singapore
Wow,
Mrs.
that's a
Mrs.
huge
Singapore
feat.
came
Yeah.
in, and so it was nice. It was a good experience,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was great learning.
Yeah, nice. So, ladies, don't shy away from participating in something beyond your day
Yes,
to day, and
yes.
there's always something new to explore about
Yes,
yourself.
I think as women, we usually, limit ourselves saying, "Oh, this is not for me. That is not for me."
Yeah.
But I think it's just about going out there and experiencing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's all a great experience and a great learning always.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if you win, even if you fail.
Yeah.
And having talked about that you participated in this beauty contest, did you ever feel that people have judged you because of how you looked, because of aging and what you're wearing, or they judged you for that?
People judged me, I would say, in a positive way,
Mhm.
because I was always with my daughter, and they thought that we were sisters. So somehow
That's like the greatest compliment
Yes.
that one can
So
get.
that did help me to some extent. But yeah, I mean, people, when you wear certain designs or certain colors, you know, in
Mhm.
some countries people use very different kinds of tones of shades
Hmm.
and
That's right,
designs.
yeah.
So and if you are a kind who just are happy with what you have and what you wear, then sometimes people tend to look at you, and they might just look at you from up and down and just see, you know,
Yeah.
how is she wearing this. But it
Mhm.
just really doesn't matter as long as you feel comfortable in your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And if you reach that level, and you can reach that level as soon as you're, you know, young, or even as you age. But once you reach that stage, I don't think it really matters, or are people judging me, or you know, am I looking okay? It's just fine.
Yeah. But tell me, is there anything which you used to wear earlier, but now you're like, maybe I should like give a second thought? Is there anything that you now kind of refrain away from wearing?
I think it would be the other way around, because when I moved to Singapore about 8 years back,
Mm-hmm.
before that in India I used to never wear shorts.
Ah.
Now in Singapore I started
It's a
wearing
shorts
shorts.
country,
Yes.
like
Yes.
the culture.
So that way I think it's one more addition to the wardrobe.
Yeah.
But here, in terms of, you know, low necks, that is something that I'm somehow not comfortable with, and
Okay.
you know,
Is it like because of aging, or that's something you've
no,
never?
I have never done. I just don't like to
Okay.
show my cleavage.
Right.
I'm just not comfortable with that.
Okay.
So yeah, all of the others is fine. Hands, legs, everything is okay.
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 Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, like especially people from India, who for them, you know, when they move to any foreign country, this is the first change. Like, you know, moving to short dresses, shorts. It's quite
Yeah.
common. I've heard it from like a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
best
people.
part is because no one really looks at you. Nobody
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah,
you know,
correct.
checking you out. So it's like
I
you
think there's
blend
a
in the
sense
crowd.
of how you feel comfortable around
Yeah.
wearing what you're wearing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without getting those crazy looks.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So, Anita, now we talked about you have two lovely young girls, right? So, do you go to them for any kind of fashion advices, you know, to know about what's going on right now or what you should
Or
wear? Or
let's ask that, who do you take
who do you
fashion
take your
advice
fashion
from?
advice
Your
from?
husband,
Yeah.
or kids, or mother, or sister?
I think for me, fashion is like when I see something nice, I try and look at the pattern. I don't really go in the brand per se, but I look at, oh, this looks nice. Maybe it looks nice, on me as well. And when it comes to what I go to my kids for,
Mhm.
it's mostly taking clothes from their wardrobes.
That's so,
So my
nice.
elder one is like really scared. Oh, mom has come to take some clothes from me. So yeah, I mean, I like wearing what the younger generation wears as well, and
Yeah.
thankfully it fits me. But I obviously again refrain from showing my belly or showing my cleavage. So otherwise, it's pretty much fine. I like the young generation clothes as well, and yeah, it's in terms of advice, I think I really don't take any advice from anyone. I just look and what appeals to me. I just kind of
Yeah, it's
take
kind
it
of
from there.
similar. Rather, I prefer to shop alone. Like, I don't want anybody's opinion. I don't know, Kamsha.
It's quite different for me. I don't like shopping alone. I always need somebody else's opinion about
Okay.
how I'm looking. Is it looking nice on me or not?
Okay.
And that's how I choose. I think it's been like that from my childhood. There's been someone along with me, you know, who'd go to shopping with me and
Yeah.
help me out.
It will evolve
Yeah.
because you've not reached the midlife yet.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, earlier during younger years, I used to take advice from my mother, but now I prefer to do it
Yeah.
by myself.
But I think the people who I take advice from is definitely changed. Of course, it was my parents before. I don't go to my husband for sure for
Yeah,
any
yeah.
advices. But yeah, I have found those people in my friends who actually know about a lot about fashion, about different fashion labels.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in Singapore, when I moved, I had no idea where to shop, and then I think I found the right place with my friends who shop
Yeah.
here and who know much better than me. So yeah.
But Anita, I'm curious. I know maybe you are a special one who has great body, who thinks can still share clothes with their teenage daughter. But I'm just curious that in your circle, your friends, family, people who are of similar age, colleagues, do you see that they are different from you in terms of their overall confidence? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to look good. Like, no matter at what age you are, we all want a beautiful wardrobe. So I'm just curious, that is that you, which is something very special about you, or how do you see others around similar age to you? Do you think people like just give up on themselves?
Yeah, I think I've seen this especially among Indian women, and I'm not generalizing here. That typically when you get married and then you have, you want to look your best pre-wedding, wedding,
Yeah.
post-wedding.
Yeah.
But when that child thing happens and you become a mother, I think a lot is going on in your
Yeah.
mind and body as well. And at that point of time, I think you definitely change the focus, even from your husband, forget your dressing,
Yeah.
to the kids.
Yeah.
So, I think at that point of time, there's a lot that is gaining in terms of course, time with your kids,
Yeah.
but even, fat on your body.
Yeah.
And with that, somehow you don't realize that you really put on weight.
Yeah.
And as we all know, it is easy to gain, but very difficult to lose. And at a certain point of time, it becomes even more difficult.
Yeah.
So I have seen women who are, don't focus much on. I mean, they do get brands. It's not that they're not spending on themselves, but they are probably wearing loose clothes. I somehow feel when you're slightly on the plumper side,
You should not.
You should not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they probably sometimes also wear clothes where they kind of just get lost in the crowd, kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
would love wearing
Like
colorful
blending.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, look at the pink and look at the.
Yeah, somehow we all are like sort of
so
color coordinated.
exactly. So I feel it is, it really depends on how confident you are as a person, whether you want to hide in the crowd. I'm not saying, go out there and show yourself, but just make your own statement, whatever works for you. So I think women are, of course, it's a journey. There's a lot more changes that I see even in the Indian society today.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because the disposable income is also high, women are very independent, and a lot is changing in that front as well.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, where do you go for your shopping? Do you like online shopping or do you like in-store experiences, like trying out clothes?
Because the reason that we are curious in asking, because there has been a whole generational shift in how we shop. And I'm sure you have seen it, like starting from
you
standalone.
Feel old now.
But no, I mean,
I think we have also gone
like
through
the kind of transformation starting from standalone shops to shopping malls to online to like this like plethora. So I'm like, I know, for example, my mom, she's still not, or even many people from my age, they are still not comfortable buying online. So have you embraced that, or have you still are like?
I would say it's not that I've not tried and like trying new things. So I have gone online with my kids for their shopping, for my own shopping as well. But I somehow feel that, between brands, though they give the sizes, etc., sometimes the fit or the way the cut looks on you is different. And then when you're busy, it's very, and though it may be convenient in terms of replacements, it's just that additional effort of, going back and forth. Whereas if you go in the store, you can try. Hopefully, you go on a day where there's no long queues at the fitting rooms. So I think, and then you can touch and feel the cloth. Sometimes the color that they show online is very different from what you get eventually. So the cloth, the colors, the texture.
My biggest pain is the size. I think it's just like
it's
very standardized.
They do give the measurements, but sometimes I just feel that when you wear it, it's just
how it flows in your
on your body. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to find out that right brand and the right size of clothing, from that brand. And I personally have like the same problem, with size. It's not about higher size, lower size. Every size of those
like for me, I
like,
prefer websites which show the videos, because you can see the fluidity, how it looks. Because often in still photographs, you really can't make out. But once you see someone moving, that movement or that fluidity kind of gives you like some bit of idea of how it might look like.
I've also seen some of my friends who are brand loyalists. So they decide on a couple of brands, and then they just just focused on the discounts or the sale or the new brilliant new
yeah,
seasons on there.
yeah.
They know the size,
Yeah.
they know the colors, what they get.
Which is a great
So
strategy.
they just
Yeah.
focus on that, and they're
Yeah.
just happy.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they've had their journey of finding
Yes.
those
Yeah,
brands
yeah.
and
It
those
takes
correct sizes
initial effort.
online,
Yeah.
or maybe at stores.
Yeah. True. So, Anita, recently Michelle Yeoh, she won Oscar, and she said this fantastic line
Yes.
that women, don't you ever think you have passed your prime, and it just kind of resonated with me. And especially, I want to ask you, do you think you have passed your prime? I mean, I know it doesn't look like, but I want to know from you. Do you think you have passed your prime, or at any age you will feel, okay, now I have passed my prime?
I think age is just a number.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was so happy that women like Michelle Yeoh proved that.
Yeah.
And there are so many, like Demi Moore started a swimming wear brand at 60.
Amazing.
So I just think these women are just so amazing, and it's all in the mind. And age is at the end of the day just a number.
Yeah.
So if you feel at 20 that you've reached your prime, you've reached your prime.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't, I mean, for me personally, I just don't think I have reached my prime. I think I'm probably approaching it at a distance. It's just reaching me. So
it's far.
It's far away.
Yeah.
So
let it be there.
Yes, I personally don't feel, because, and I think for me, it will change when I physically feel
Yes.
that I am tired, I am not able to keep up with the pace and the energy in my life. Maybe that time I might just feel that way, but otherwise today, no. I think I'm just approaching it, and I'm happy. I just feel happier, healthier, more confident, and ready to take on life.
Yeah.
And of course, like, is this because it's in your hands that you want to feel that way, or you're doing something to feel or look a certain way, or take care of your body, be healthier?
I think women generally are tough on themselves.
Yeah.
They always
They
think
are.
that all the other women except them are perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
In every
That's
which
so
way.
true.
But I think every woman is unique and special in her own way, and it's for you to see that in yourself. I'm not saying I have reached that stage in life, but I personally feel with the experiences that each one of us have something to give back, and I don't think it is about trying to match or be like someone else, because
Yeah.
there's no one as
Who is you.
special and unique as
Yeah.
you. So just be yourself, be confident, and no matter what your size, shape, or body type, I think you should be happy with who you are and the life that you lead.
Yeah.
Very
We all are flawed in our own
Yes.
different
Yeah,
ways.
and we are unique.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, adding on to the thing, I think the more you keep yourself fit, and the more you try and connect with people and engage and do things in different platforms or different areas, it may not be that you are doing something to win, but I think the more you throw yourself out there,
Yeah.
I think the more confident you become, because you see, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
So you try and validate yourself
Yeah.
that you're good enough.
So that self-validation
Yes.
is the most important,
Yes.
and not validation from
And
others.
I love the bit that you said, the more you put yourself out there. I think that's what we have discussed, that universe has its way of showing or throwing things back at you, but you have to also make an effort to show yourself out there.
Yes.
And then you will find like-minded people who
Yes.
will kind of help you in the journey.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask you that, has it ever happened that your daughters have said, "Mama, what are you wearing?" Or they asked you to change, this is not looking nice. Has it ever happened?
Of course.
And knowing your daughters, I know
Right,
this would
right
happen.
from teaching me how to pronounce things in English to what I wear, they are
Oh my
there
God.
everywhere. And my husband is there to encourage them as well to some extent. But
So it's like one
Yes.
team on and then
Yes,
you
yes.
are the other.
But what I feel is, initially I used to change, because I used to say, oh, this is not nice. Or if they want me to wear something, there have been days that they say, okay, Mama, I want you to wear this today. And I have done that. But I think with time, as as I am more experienced, I won't say more older,
Yeah.
more experienced, I think I know what I want to wear.
Yeah.
And sometimes there have been cases or situations where they say, this is not looking nice on you, mama. And I've said that, but I feel nice about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I have
yeah.
gone ahead wearing what I was told not to wear. So I see that change in me, and I think it's because I feel a lot more confident, as I said, and
Yeah.
comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally relate because I have a 5 years old one, and she sometimes said, "Mama, maybe wear this," but then I tell her exactly, but I feel nice in this one right now. So it's also about the day, the moment, what you're feeling.
And
So
it's also learning for the kids as well, right? They
yeah,
don't have to stereotype someone in a certain kind of clothing or colors,
Yeah.
So it's a learning from a younger age, I would
Yeah.
say.
yeah, yeah. Anita. So I want to ask you now, specifically coming to fashion labels. Uh, do you think women at a certain age are kind of cornered in the sense there's no representation in terms of models, in terms of what you see online or in the ads? You don't see people like you. So do you feel, it's you after reaching a certain age, you are like just cornered away in the whole marketing or the glitz and the glamour of the fashion world? Because that's a sad reality. Let's accept it. But do you feel something about it, or do you feel you're cornered when you don't see someone like you being out there?
I think more mature fashion labels have
Mhm.
opened up their eyes, and they now
Yeah.
know that, well, fashion is not just for the young.
Yeah.
And in fact, some companies, I think Mango, if I'm not mistaken, and then there are some other marketplaces, if I
Mhm.
have, if I remember right, in US and other places, where they have looked at the midlife women, and
Yeah.
they are working on, having designers and stuff that they kind of get from different labels.
Yeah.
And all in one place,
Yeah.
convenient for the
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
to look at. So I think definitely it's a long away from where it should be.
Mhm.
But I can see that people who are ahead and matured labels are
Mhm.
definitely looking at the midlife women, as you say. They have more time,
Mhm.
definitely more
More
money.
money. Yes.
They are more conscious about the way they look,
Yeah.
and hence there's a focus on health.
Yeah.
And so they are fitter. And we have all kinds of brands out there trying to do
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
definitely it is a very exciting future.
Yeah. 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 Times have changed. As you said, the future belongs to women, and the future is now.
Yes.
So, Anita, my last question for you is, what advice would you like to give to the women who are in their midlife, to how to perceive themselves and how should they present themselves to the world and be more confident?
I think, as I said earlier, midlife is just something that you put in your mind, and it's really not existing according to me. The one thing and the biggest advantage that you have when you reach midlife is wisdom. So use your wisdom wisely is all that I would say. Become yourself a lot more.
Yeah.
Go out there, be happier, do things that you want to do that you were not able to do before. Dress up for yourself, not for anyone else. Just be happy and go have fun.
Yeah. And do experiment, as you said.
Yes.
Try new things.
Yes, try new things.
Yeah.
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 Put yourself out in the world,
Yes,
as you rightly
Yeah.
said.
So
Well,
it's actually wisdom, embraced, or with style and confidence. That's what you should say midlife is.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That was great talking to you, Anita, and sharing your experienced views on this topic. It was really, really
Yeah.
great to hear from you, and I'm sure people will find inspiration from this pageant winner and this multifaceted women. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
very
much for having me over. Bye.